for a walk, and I guess you know it's spring in Nevada because it's windy. So I hope y'all can hear me. I'm talking with the phone up close to my mouth. Started the morning out with checking the grow room and was so happy to see that the apple tree is waking up. I'm going to get out there and hand water in all the fertilizer because we never got any rain, right? So got to put some water on that fertilizer if you want it to get to the plants. But I'm pretty excited, thinking about stuff I want to do, and we'll be a little limited today because today's a bowling day, but I'm going to spend about an hour in the yard working on cutting up those tree boughs. Part of it will be saved for firewood and part of it will go out in the trash because I don't think those little green ends are that great for the fire. In fact, they're probably pretty combustible, right? I mean, like excessively combustible, and I think the green parts could actually make sparks, so we don't want that. We just want the wood pieces. But I finally found my recipe for the chocolate mesquite cookies, mesquite flour, and so we'll probably try to do that maybe Sunday. I know that's Super Bowl Sunday, but that video will be out there once I make it, when anybody wants to watch it. I know I've talked about making chocolate cookies with mesquite flour and hadn't gotten around to it, and I just had to dig out my recipe that I used. And I'm going to make it in such a way that it doesn't have any eggs in it, because I know eggs are like through the roof right now, and actually they're not really necessary for this recipe. There's a few workarounds for eggs and baking, so keep an open mind. The other thing I'm going to do Sunday, normally I would go watch the Super Bowl with my husband. Hey Ron, thanks for joining again, appreciate it. Normally I'd go watch the Super Bowl with my husband, but the sports book he's going to watch it at is really smoky, so I just can't do that cigarette smoke. So he's going to batch it, and I'm going to do some projects in the house. I need to take everything out of the pantry and reorganize it. All the canned goods, make sure I have the oldest ones in the front, so we're using our older canned things that we've made before we use the newer stuff, right? And I find that when you organize, like I need to do that about every 6 months because I stuff stuff in there as I get it. And when you organize, you find that there's stuff that you bought. So just by going through everything, you can say, oh, I don't need to buy that, right? It makes it easier to find stuff. I mean, it's kind of in order, but when you start cramming stuff in there that you find on sale, next thing you know, you've got a lot of things in there. So yeah, we're gonna make mesquite flour chocolate cookies on Sunday and organize the pantry. And I won't bore y'all with the whole pantry organization, but that's on my to-do for this weekend. And also got to start working a little more on those garden beds in the yard. Get those leaves out that have blown in. Do that about 4 times a year. And the interesting thing, when I was starting to work on those tree boughs, the pine trees that got the boughs that were stretched over the yard, I found a squash beetle on those. And those squash beetles are the nemesis to our garden. Now, one thing I found that worked really well last year, you want to go this way? Okay, we'll go this way. All right, wait for mommy. One of the things, wow, I can't believe she decided to go this way. One of the things that worked really well last year is I left the garlic growing in the garden bed, and that really, all right, what are you interested in? Let's not do that. Come on. No, we don't need that, whatever it is. I left the garlic growing in the garden bed, and that really worked great. We didn't have too many problems with squash bugs. And when they did show up, thank you, I'm glad you love our garden. It gives me a lot of happiness too. And my husband, he loves it. We can grow some of our food and have some fresh produce. I mean, we have a small property, so we can't begin to grow everything that we could possibly need, but we can supplement our diet, definitely the lettuces and stuff like that for sure, and some tomatoes. But thank you. Yeah, we love that too. All right. Apparently this area is very interesting to Meg. But yeah, I need to get out there and start cleaning up the flower beds, the garden beds, start getting it ready for summer. I'm a little behind on my compost. I haven't really kept enough water in that, but it's only February, so if I start keeping up with that, maybe it'll finish between now and May. Oh, what is that? That looks like fur. Okay. I need to pay more attention to what Meg's got her nose in. Because she's got a nose. She smells it all. And I have a whole bunch of eggplant going. And I have a few friends that I know that are interested in having some help with starting some plants. And I was hoping to share with one of the pastors that bowls at our bowling alley. But you would be surprised. People really aren't that interested in growing food. I feel like a lot of people think it's menial, a menial task. But man, when you think about inflation, everybody complains about how expensive stuff is getting to be. It's a great idea to try to grow something, right? So eggplant actually preserves really well. So it's very easy to dehydrate. You just blanch it. We'll cut it in thin slices and blanch it, and then dehydrate it on a baking sheet in your oven. Try to use a low setting, or a dehydrator if you have one. I'm not investing in a freeze dryer. Those are very expensive. And those things keep for a long time, especially in a dry climate. And I actually find it's easier to make eggplant parmesan with dehydrated eggplant. And I love them in stews. It's a little cool at night, Ron. I mean, we've had a few days that it's been quite warm. Like we had 80 yesterday, which is exceptional. Normally I'm not wearing shorts in February, but I'm wearing them again today too. Get a little vitamin D from nature, right? But so I don't think it's going to get super cold now. I'm watching the forecast pretty closely, because if your trees bud out, like the apple trees waking up, if they bud out and you get a frost, it can really damage, like you won't get any fruit, right? So if that happened, I would just go out and throw blankets on everything. We keep our trees at a manageable height, which is great for older folks, and it's also great for managing a small production where you're just doing it yourself. It's not like a orchard or anything. It's kind of an orchard. I mean, we kind of have a mini orchard in our yard, but we're not like commercial production or anything like that. You got forecast for 1 to 3 inches of snow. Wow. Hey Sammy, thanks for joining the channel. Thanks for joining. Yeah, you would probably benefit from a growing room like ours, Ron. I'm probably not going to do any traveling this year because I'm going to want to be watching that grow room pretty closely. We had hoped to put bubblers in there, but I really feel like they would put off too much water because the smallest one's a gallon a minute. And I did buy some mister nozzles that attach to a bubbler system. I want to see how those do, like try it on a bubbler that's in the yard, right? So you don't have water all over the place in the grow room. I'm sorry, I don't speak that language, Sammy. But yeah, I'm hoping to try to talk my daughter into visiting this year. I've gone to Alaska the last 2 years, which was wonderful. I loved it. Mostly my mother was ill, and then she ended up passing. So I went to see the family and help my mom on that leg of her journey. But would love to have our daughter come visit. Hopefully she will. We'll see. It's hard when kids have jobs, and it's good that they have jobs, right? That's what you do at that age. You should be doing anyway. Oh, you love the story. Thank you. What language do you speak? What country are you from? But yeah, I'm going to have to monitor that grow room. We've done really good with just a teeny tiny heater that kicks in if it drops down to 50. But we're going to have to add some air in there for the summer. And we don't need to cool it that much, but we definitely don't want that room to hit 120, right? So that's what I'll be doing this summer, is watching our yard and taking care of our grow room and our plants. I kind of feel like we can get better fruit production if I'm dedicated to caring for our property. I don't think I'll be doing any work, so that's the great news. Oh, no, Ron. No, not at this time. You know, when I met my husband in 2011 and we got married in 2014, I told him that I would eventually move here, and I did. As soon as our daughter graduated from high school, and it was a good time for me to sell the house there, and then also it was a good time to, you know, I had my years in at my job and stuff like that, so. And I tell you, it's nice not having to clear snow out of the driveway, so probably not. It is great to visit. We love our friends. I tell you, the nicest people you'll ever meet live in Alaska. I have met a few really nice people here too, though. Made a couple good friends, so that's wonderful. But nope, the desert is my home now, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my husband making this life possible for me. He is a blessing for sure. Yep, we're blessed. We're very happy. Thank you. And this weather is exceptional. I never thought I would be walking in shorts and a t-shirt in February. This is amazing. Getting a little natural vitamin D. And I don't think the UV is that high right now. When it's really hot out in the summer and you wake up and it's like you better get out there at 6:30. In other words, the sun will be over the top of you and it'll be too hot. But I try not to be out in the sun when it's really high UV because I know that's not good for your skin, but I'm all about the natural vitamin D as well. And from what I've read, a lot of these sunscreens are actually not that great for your skin. In fact, they could be the cause of some skin cancers, so be careful with what you're putting on your skin, people. And these things right to here, they don't look like much, but they're pokey. Like those edges are razor blade sharp. I only know that because one time Meg did her business on one of those and I was trying to clean it up, and yeah, it was a little bit of work. Speaking of which, I need to get a bag out. Thank you for not going on a bush, Meg. There's a family out there walking. It's nice, beautiful day. All right, let mommy clean it up. Okay, all right, let me clean it up. Good girl. All right, give me just a moment here, peeps. I gotta clean this up. Good girl. All right, I'm back. Let's go, baby. Come on. Get that out of the way. Good job, Meg. What's the best thing to love about Nevada? Well, I can grow something year-round here. The warm climate is just so nice. It's only really hot like 3 months out of the year, right? And when it's hot, you just, you go out in the mornings or in the evenings. There's a lot of food here as far as like if you like to eat good food. That was one of the things when my husband first started bringing me here that I really enjoyed is there's so much you could eat, like any kind of food you might want to eat here. It's here. Granted, it's gotten more expensive, but mostly we cook at home. We go out when friends are in town. Mostly we cook at home, or if we're tired and we're too busy, like sometimes we're busy running all day, and we'll stop and get something. Oh, there goes a quail. I don't know if you can see him. They're probably pretty small in my video, but I didn't see them in the yard this morning. Those little guys are going to be making eggs here pretty soon. I think they have like a 3 to 4 week gestation. And the fact that they're in the yard so much now, I love all these birds. That's one thing I love about Nevada. The fact that they're in the yard right now tells me they're probably eating because they're going to have eggs in a bit. I love that I can grow fruit trees. I couldn't really do that in Alaska. There were some people that had apple trees if they lived high enough up on a hill. You get this temperature inversion if you're on a hill, so on the hills it doesn't get as cold or as hot. Oh my gosh, we got a whole group of people pushing baby carriages over there. That is awesome. Go family. You probably can't see them in my video, but Let's see if I can get it a little better. I think that's great that everybody's out walking today, especially with the kids, right? Kind of helps teach your kids to have a good lifestyle. All right, let's go over here, Meg. Mommy wants to get rid of this nasty bag. Come on. Come on. Come on. Meg, come. Get rid of this and then you can walk wherever you'd like, I think. Up there's the families over there. And they've got the bubblers on. Okay. Now it is harder gardening here. So it's a trade-off. You grow what grows. And oh, the families are coming our way. What is it, Meg? Do you hear the baby crying? Yeah, you hear the baby crying. Aww. Little birds. I guess I don't have to worry about running into moose if I'm out walking. Those things are pretty cool, and I never actually had any problems with them in Alaska. I just gave them their space. A couple times I was startled by moose. When we had our dog Rio, he was a super busy dog, and he was a Belgian Malinois or Belgian Shepherd, Belgian Sheepdog. You know what, those bubblers could come on over here. I think they've already been on here. Wouldn't it be so great to have those come on right around you, right? It would be kind of cold and wet. But Rio had to be walked, so when he was a young dog, I would get up at 5 a.m. and walk him, even in the coldest part of winter, bundle up. And one morning, there was this noise in the brush, and it was a moose. Boy, I tell you what, that scared me, because you never know, they can be cantankerous. So we went back to the house pretty fast. Oops, Meg! Oh my goodness. And then one time there was a great horned owl, big owl in the trees. Actually, I couldn't see what color it was, but it was huge. And in Alaska in the wintertime, when it's really cold, the tree branches are really dry. So anything going through them or moving them makes a lot of noise. And so I was wearing a headlight, and the headlight beamed the owl, and the owl started flapping to fly. And when it did that, it made a heck of a lot of noise, and I had no idea what was coming through those trees. And so that really scared me too. But yeah, I used to walk Rio super early in the morning, even though it was cold, because if you didn't, he was a terror during the day when you were at work, right? So I like being able to walk most of the year without 5 layers of clothes on. That's another thing I love about living here. It's nice to see the families out enjoying the weather with their children. Nice to see families. See, I'm trying to see my screen here. Northwest Maine is very remote, not many people. Most of the state is wooded. Yeah, it's great seeing people enjoy. A lot of moose and coyotes. We have coyotes here too, and those coyotes can actually jump those walls. So anybody that's got little dogs needs to keep close tabs on them. In fact, my husband, when he first moved here, a long time ago, he actually had a bobcat jump in the yard. And the bobcat, he was out in the backyard with his dog that he had at the time, and the bobcat looked at him and the dog and sprung over the wall in one bound. It sounds like that was like amazing and probably scary at the same time, right? Because you don't want one of those things taking your dog. But Meg's pretty heavy. Oh, so most of Maine is owned by the timber companies. Do they grow tobacco there, or you just mean big corporate? Let's go over here and leave that lady. Leave that lady be, Meg. Her little doggy gets all worked up when it sees you. It's funny how the little dogs can bark so much. Well, appreciate y'all joining us today on our walk. It sure has been beautiful. It's a gorgeous day, and I'm so thankful for this nice spring weather. Gotta enjoy it when you have it. Have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.